You had 3 bone density tests
Yep.
since you started vibration
Yep.
and severe osteoporosis, negative
Mhm.
3.7 when
Right.
you first started.
Yep.
And then the next test 2 years later, now you were age 55, you had gone to
Mhm.
negative 2.1, which is a
Yep.
big jump up.
Mm.
And then the most recent one, you were still shooting up. You're at negative 1.6, is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow. So after you've gone from negative 3.7 to negative 1.6, you're almost into normal.
Right.
And they're still telling you you've got to stop what you're doing and get on.
Exactly. And I
drugs?
put the information right in front of them, give them
Wow.
a brief summary of what I've been through, and they're like, no, it's just not possible. But when I was researching the drugs that are used, there's no way I want to pursue any of that.
Feel those vibrations going through you. Here we go. We're doing some balance exercises here. All right. Nice. Good job. Welcome to Good Vibes with Becky Chambers. Everything you need to know about whole body vibration from the world's leading expert.
For informational purposes only, not medical advice. Consult a qualified healthcare professional before making health decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided.
I am so happy today to have a guest. His name is John, and he has a wonderful story of his experience with whole body vibration, particularly in regards to bone density. We are just so happy to welcome you and hear your story, John.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. So it kind of goes back to 2017. I had moved to Hawaii to take care of my mother, started feeling a lot of fatigue, which I'd experienced in the past, but I think it was in dealing with my mother that I was just getting really tired and not used to that kind of work. So ended up going to the doctor, not sure what really triggered her reaction, thinking that I might have osteoporosis, but she suggested the DEXA scan, got that done, and it was pretty clear at that point that I was in osteoporosis. So my scores were pretty high.
And John, how old were you at that time?
50. So I'm going back all the way to the original diagnosis, which was 2017. So then I had 2 DEXA scans in Hawaii, one 2017 when I was first diagnosed, and then I did another one in 2020, and it started showing improvement in 2020. What had happened was when I was initially diagnosed, I was referred to an endocrinologist who was in Honolulu and had a 3-month waiting list. At the time, I, of course, was freaking out and really concerned, but 3 months was a lot of time to research what's going on, what my options are, and that kind of thing. And of course, one of the first things I found was pharmaceutical drugs being used for treatment came with a lot of side effects. And that was a big red flag to me because I usually don't use any Western medicine because all I experience is side effects. I'm really sensitive to pharmaceuticals in general. So I was worried about that. Ended up finding a naturopath in Hawaii that I was working with locally. He got me started on natural supplements as well as better exercise program and diet. And in discussing diet issues, that's when my digestive issues came up. I did further testing and we discovered that SIBO was causing a lot of the problems with digestion. So he started treating that as well. And I basically had to overhaul. It was kind of a big lifestyle change at that point because I realized I have to give up sugar completely. I wasn't really drinking, but give up alcohol as well. I had already quit smoking about 10 years prior. So again, trying to eliminate things that I'd identified through research that could be making things worse for me. I had gone to physical therapy and they'd had a vibration plate machine. And one of the therapists mentioned, oh, this is potentially used for bone density. And so I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I went home, started researching, immediately found your name and what you were doing in your books, etc., and felt really confident about purchasing the machine from you because you've done all the research. And so I did that. I got the big one, and that was back, I guess, 2018.
And that would be the Power 1000 machine.
Exactly. Started using that every day, 20 minutes a day. I used to do a lot of exercises on it because of the size. I could do a lot more on it. Just really enjoyed it. It was almost like kind of taking a break. And I knew afterward I would feel really good. So it was not only kind of helping things internally that I didn't necessarily see, but it was also a pick-me-up that I would use in the afternoons instead of like running for coffee. I would say, okay, let me just get on the machine for a few minutes and see. And it would usually boost my energy for the rest of the day and kind of shift my mood as well. So I could be positive and just kind of keep going forward. So that was really nice. And so then just got hooked on the machine and been using that, watching my diet, taking the supplements, and then following up with the DEXA scans every 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So you have actually managed to reverse your osteoporosis. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yeah. So
That's
I'm in
fantastic.
osteopenia now.
Okay. Fantastic. You had 3 bone density tests
Yep.
since you started vibration
Yep.
and severe osteoporosis, negative
Mhm.
3.7 when
Right.
you first started.
Yep.
And then the next test 2 years later, now you were age 55, you had gone to
Mhm.
negative 2.1, which is a
Yep.
big jump up.
Mm.
And then the most recent one, you were still shooting up. You're at negative 1.6, is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And now that's your lumbar spine, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then what about the other areas of your body?
Right. So the other areas tested were hips and neck, and they improved as well. I'd have to look at the detail to give you the exact numbers, but they did improve as well.
So to now you're 58. That's just
Yeah.
fantastic. Really, that's must feel so good.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. No, I feel
Yeah.
very fortunate. Absolutely. I try and tell everyone, I did this without medication, using the machine every day, changing my diet, being conscious of what I'm putting in my body, that kind of thing. A lot of exercise. So yeah, it works.
Just fantastic. Yeah. All
Hmm.
right. Well, good for you. And what happened with your digestive issues? Have you been able
So
to fix that as well?
yeah, so eliminating sugar really helped, cutting way back on gluten. I try and avoid gluten as much as possible because that can really slow me down. Focusing more on low carb diet, eliminating sugar, alcohol.
Actually, there's research that shows that whole body vibration is also really helping your gut to heal. And that's where inflammation is like starting. One thing they've shown is healthy bacteria levels to increase the levels of the good ones, certain good
Hmm.
ones at least, especially there's one called Alstipes.
Mm,
And there was research that showed 17-fold increase within
right.
weeks in this
Wow.
particular bacteria that lowers inflammation levels dramatically.
Mm,
You're increasing the good bacteria and decreasing the bad bacteria and other types of organisms. It's such a win-win.
exactly, for sure. And my doctor at the time, the naturopath I was working with in Hawaii, he was kind of explaining the same thing because at the time my whole body was inflamed and I didn't really understand what was going on or how I could change it. With his help and again, the change in diet, exercise, that kind of thing, as well as the vibration machine, one of my favorite ways to use it actually was I get really bloated very easily from all kinds of different foods. I never know what's going to set it off. And when I'm feeling really bloated, if I get on the machine, even just for like 5 or 10 minutes, it helps relieve that bloating. And like what you were talking about, it kind of changes what's going on in the GI tract. And I can see immediate benefits from using the machine. Always positive results. So I would keep going back to it and suggest it too for people that were struggling with bloating issues from eating. What I end up doing is I lay on the machine on my
Mhm.
back. And like I said, for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it just kind of helps. I don't know if it's shaking everything around, but it provides some relief. So I keep going back to it.
Well,
So,
it certainly would be relaxing muscles. Some of your discomfort might be when that's going on in your gut, that your muscles tighten up. I have seen that it can lower inflammation and pain almost immediately. The person tells you, oh, it doesn't hurt anymore, whether it's a joint or a headache or any one of many joints. And now you're saying bloating and stomach discomfort. So that's very interesting. It might just be a quick anti-inflammation effect. I mean, we know that inflammation is directly tied to pain. So if your pain is going down, most likely your inflammation levels are going down also. And there is research showing that inflammation levels drop. Sometimes it can be unbelievably incredible. I was just talking to a researcher, very big researcher in the whole body vibration world, and you can find this on another episode about inflammation. But he was telling me that whole body vibration in his research dropped inflammation levels within a few weeks 120-fold. That means if your inflammation marker was 120, a few weeks later, it's 1.
Right.
Unheard of, mind-boggling
Sure.
results that you could not even begin to hope to get from other
Right.
method other than like steroids, which are even a
Well,
bigger
and
effect, but have terrible side effects.
right, exactly. Well, and trying to explain to a doctor can be a challenge as well, because they don't necessarily want to pursue that. What do you mean you're getting results from a vibration machine? It's like, of course you're not. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. They know drugs. That's
right.
their specialty and their
And that's how
expertise.
they're trained. Right.
They cannot help you with other methods because
Mm-mm.
they don't know
Mhm.
about them, which doesn't
Mhm.
mean there isn't research. There is research. It's just not yet FDA approved. So they lag behind what's available.
Sure. I can't tell you how many doctors I've sat in front of explaining my situation, and they get upset. They get very upset. And they're like, what do you mean you're not pursuing prescription? You need to see an endocrinologist and you need to be on medication. It's like, well, no, I don't.
You're talking about the bone density issue?
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. In fact, when I first moved here, I was trying to get established with a general practitioner, and I explained my situation and the success I'd had on my own without big pharma. And that made him very angry.
Wow. So after you've gone from negative 3.7 to negative 1.6, you're almost into normal.
Right.
And they're still telling you you've got to stop what you're doing and get on
Exactly. No, and I
drugs?
put the information right in front of them, give them
Wow.
a brief summary of what I've been through, and they just can't even acknowledge it. They're like, no, it's just not possible. But when I was researching the drugs that are used, there's no way I want to pursue any of that. I'm on a
Yeah.
couple blogs and I get the comments or whatever, email every day with people's issues. And so many people struggle with the medications with all kinds of side effects and issues. And then doctors that aren't really helpful.
A while back, I went to the new dentist and they asked
Mhm.
me, have you ever been on a bone density drug? Because if you had ever taken bone density drugs, we will not treat you. We will not touch your teeth. The risk
Whoa.
of
Right.
jawbone necrosis
Right.
is so great and such a massive problem, they don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Well, that's something I never even heard. I mean, that's something they don't even discuss, when the issue or the topic of drugs comes up. You never
I
hear that
know.
as a patient.
It's
And then
not.
not only it's not safe in the short term, and it sure as hell isn't safe in the long term.
Oh, exactly.
People develop all kinds of bizarre issues, and then
Yeah.
they're screwed. I mean, they're stuck.
I
Very
will
much so.
say, I had a client who was an older woman and she had a terrible bone density problem genetically for a long
Mm,
time. She'd been on drugs
mm,
without increasing bone density. And then she was still on them because she had a very big problem. And
right.
she bought a vibration machine, one of mine, and she started doing the vibration along with her drug. And
Mm,
6 months later, she had a 29% increase
wow.
in her bone density. So I cannot wait for some research on combining the two systems because drugs, they are much safer if you're on them a short amount of time.
Right.
If you really need to be on the drugs, try adding the vibration along with it, and maybe you can get off soon.
True. That
Yeah.
makes sense for sure. Yeah, I'm sure it works
Oh.
as an adjunct really well.
Well, what do you think, John? Is there anything else that you want to mention?
Well, I just feel so fortunate that I found your site when I did, and I was able to get the machine. It changed my life completely. It took me from a situation where I was feeling really depressed and doomed with this diagnosis, and I'm able to turn it around on my own. So that's amazing. And if I can do it, anyone can. There's no reason anyone shouldn't try.
I love
It's
it.
a lot of work. I don't want to make it sound like I just coasted through the last 10 years. No, but it pays off. I mean, I can't imagine not having it now. It's like I'm trying to make travel plans and I'm like, gosh, I wish I could bring my machine with me.
John, you got to get another machine. You got to get the
Yep.
Ultimate Vibe. It's small and
Yep.
light, and people travel with that one.
Cool. I'll think about it.
Well, John, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's very inspirational and fantastic. You have a wonderful day. And folks, join us here 3 times a week for inspiration with whole body vibration. There are contraindications for vibration, and you should check those before you try vibration. You can find them on my website. It's bcvibranthealth.com. For those of you who haven't done vibration before, it's very important to start slow and build up with vibration. Set it for the amount of time and the settings you know you can handle, and then just keep going with us with your machine off. We're going to do interval training at the same time, and it's also going to combine HIIT workout, which is cardiovascular, as well as resistance training intervals. So here we go. If you have trouble keeping up with me, don't worry about it. There's extra time in there. We're 30 seconds on, 10 seconds to rest while we get in the next position. We're doing a beginner's squat. My knees are a little bent, my hips back a little bit, and pulling up on the straps, which you don't have to do. If you want to just do the beginner's position with your hands here, that's fine. This is a workout for your legs. And if you add the arms, then you're getting the arms, and you're also increasing the pressure, the weight that you're carrying. That's important, actually, even for bone density, because the more impact you have and weight you're carrying, the more effective the signal to your bones. All right, next position is going to be a lunge. One foot on the plate, the other foot behind. And if you can pull on a strap, that's good. Here we go. All right. And okay, pull up. We're doing 2 resistance workout positions, exercises, and that's great for your bone density, right? And then we're going to do a cardio exercise, because getting your heart rate up is fantastic for your body, and whole system works together. Very important. Keep the whole system working. All right, here you go. Can you feel your legs working hard? So when you're on a machine, we're going to move to the next one. Here we go. All right. Next one is going to be cardio. We're going to do a jumping jack type thing. So you can do this, right? Or if you're up for it, you can do a full on jumping jack. Do what's right for you. Okay. So you want to be pushing your body a little bit. You don't want to hurt yourself, right? You got to listen to your body. What I was saying earlier is that when you're on a vibration machine, you are actually holding 2 to 3 times your body weight because of the effects of acceleration and gravity, which is awesome, because that is another signal to your body to increase bone density. Whew. All right, good job. And we're going to do a whole range of exercises to get the vibration and the signal to all parts of our body. All right, now we're going to do arm pulls. You're standing on the plate, and you're pulling out to the side and up with your straps as much as you can. Now, I have stretchy straps, but if you don't, if you just have like canvas ones, that's fine. Pull them out to the side and pull as hard as you can. It's that pressure and quivering of muscle fibers on your bones that's signaling bone to build. And anyway, the vibration is telling your stem cells to turn into fat cells. To not turn into fat cells, to turn into bone building cells, which is great. All right, we're going to do the other leg lunge. So the other leg this time, and pulling up with the other hand if you can. That's fine if you can, if you don't have straps. You can do all of these exercises without straps. So if your machine doesn't have straps, that's fine. Just put your hands out in front. You can put them here. You can go make it harder by sinking deeper into the squat. Or if you need a little easier, you can move your foot forward and not put as much weight on your front leg. It's just something you can adjust. All of these exercises can be adjusted so that you're challenging yourself. All right, great job. Cardio. Doing another cardio. This time we're doing something called mountain climbing, where you lift your legs up high like this, right? And if you can put a hop into it, like you're running up the mountain, right? Okay, good job. Here we go. You are awesome. Running up the mountain. Amazing. Lift those legs up high. Whew. Even if you're a good athlete, you can have a very challenging exercise session on a vibration machine. In fact, I mean, it was built for Olympic athletes. You can make this from extremely easy to extremely hard just by adjusting the exercises and the machine. The machine I'm on here, and you can find them on my website. And you can find all kinds of stuff in my books. Next exercise is going to be abdominals. My website's bcvibranthealth.com. Abdominal easy is to have either just your hands above your head and crunching your legs, right? Pull your leg up and your arms down at the same time. A little harder, you're using weights. This is just a water bottle, but you could use heavier weights. Hardest one here is the V for victory position. You're in a V shape, right? With just your rear end on the plate. And hold that position with your legs straight if you can. You could have your arms out straight. Ooh, good abdominal core exercise. And that's so important for everything. We're going to do a kind of pushing up using our arms. Grab your weights or no weights if you don't have them, and push up, right? Okay, good job. And you could be doing a little squat. I have some exercises where you're just standing because you're not able to go up and down. That's fine, just stay standing. And then if you're able to go up and down, you can do a more challenging push-up where you're actually doing a push-up on your vibration machine. And that is very difficult. Whew, because 10 minutes working out on your machine equals an hour conventional weight training. That's how intense it is, exercising with vibration. Okay, next one, another cardio. We're going to be kicking up our heels behind us this time, okay? So running again, but kicking up your heels behind you. All right, here we go. Here we go. Good job. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Kicking up your heels behind you, like that. Woo. All right. Good job. Almost done. And then we're about halfway through. You can do it. You can do it. Keep going. If you need to slow down, that's fine. Take a little, slow down, breathe. But you want to keep working out. All right. I'm going to do more core exercises. This is the diagonal crunch. Take your weight if you have one, or without weights if you need to. Opposite, put it up to the side, and then opposite leg. And keep going with the same leg, right, like this. We are doing a diagonal crunch on the right side. Core workout helps you with balance, especially if you can get down here, get on one side, and you're doing sort of a modified V for victory. Got one leg out straight, the top leg, the other one bent, one hand on the floor for balance. Touch your elbow if you can, but try to the bottom knee, which is bent. And only your rear was on the plate. Good job. Okay. Triceps dip is next. Now, if you're standing, put your hands up straight with weights if you can, and just move your hands down behind your head. This is targeting the triceps muscle, which is underneath your arm. Makes your arms look nice. All right. All those muscles look good. If you're down here, you want to do a harder triceps dip. Put your legs out in front of you, hands on the plate, and lower your weight up and down. Whew. Okay, the more you put your legs out in front of you, the further out, the harder it is. Okay, here we go. Keep going, you can do it. Yeah, good job. Good job. Okay, next one. Another cardio, right? We're gonna kick out to the sides like that. If you wanna do it walking like this, that's fine. If you need to do a smaller thing, you could just be doing this, okay? Whatever is right for you, but it's good to get your heart rate up and put a hop in it if you can, like this. Okay, good job. Here we go. You are doing awesome things for your body. Indeed, you are. You're getting whole body vibration. You're getting cardio. You're getting resistance training and all the benefits of whole body vibration, which is vast and really quick. And who can't do 10 minutes, right? A day, 15 minutes, because we're adding the cardio and the HIIT. All right. Second pelvic diagonal crunch up on the other side this time, okay? Here we go. This show is going to be on 3 times a week. And I invite you to come and exercise with us 3 times a week. Join us for the talk and then work out with us. You will be taking care of yourself. All right. If you want to go down here for this diagonal crunch, you could be doing that. It's harder. And that's great if you can do it. Okay. Try to touch that elbow to the knee. Good job. You did it. All right. Pelvic bridge. More core training. Pelvis area. Very, very important. Pelvis bridge. Take your weights if you've got them. Do a little bit of a squat and then push your hips forward. You see what I'm doing? Just getting all these muscles through here. Okay, and tighten it up your glutes. Push your hips as far as possible. Keep doing that. Or if you can come down here, more classic pelvic bridge is to put your feet on the plate with vibration and push your hips up. Lift your hips up. Ready for something even harder? Do a one-legged pelvic bridge on your vibration machine. There you go. All right. Good job. Good job. All right. We got one more cardio and then you're done with the cardios, okay? Here we go. Last one. Down, pick something up and throw it. Now you don't have to hop. Just reach down and throw something. If you can't do that, you could just bend over a little bit and push up, right? Or down and up with a hop. Here we go. It's almost like shooting a basketball, right? Pick it up and shoot it. Here we go. Whew. You are a superstar. Here we go. Woo. You will be a superstar if you keep this going. All right. Here we go. Almost done. Then we got 2 more resistance training exercises. Okay, next one is plank. If you're standing, 3, 2, I want you to do more crunches, okay? Like this. And if you are down here, that's core exercises. And a traditional plank, your elbows are on the plate and you're holding your body straight from shoulders to feet. It gets hard quickly, surprisingly quickly, how hard that gets. Okay, you can do it. Good job. Good job. Hang in there. Woo. Oh, hello, Panda Bear. Okay, this is my dog, Panda Bear. All right, good job. Nice job, everybody. Nice. Okay. All right, go ahead. Pelvic bridge. That was your pushing your hips forward like this. Okay? That's if you're standing. And if you're lying down, pelvic bridge, this time You could do it with your other leg. Okay, Pam. There you go. Okay, down here, your legs are up. And we're gonna do the other leg this time. If that's too hard, do the double leg one. But if you wanted to push your hips up and down, you could do that. There we go. Nice. Okay, Panda Bear loves vibration too. All right. There we go. And actually, vibration is fantastic for animals. We'll do a show on that sometime. All right. Nice job, everybody. You can just do any position you want as a massage now. Just relax on here. You could just be standing. You could be lying down with your calves on the machine. You could be sitting on the machine, but you deserve a rest and a massage right now. I'm just gonna relax sitting on it. So this is a little warm down and reward after your excellent workout. Good job. Feel all the oxygen and energy zooming around in your body. All right. You did a great job. Keep it going. Consistency is key, especially when you're trying to build bone. You got to be working out 3 times a week, doing resistance training on your machine daily. Don't worry if you miss a day. It's not going to kill anything, but it's, you want to get on there a lot. Put your machine where it's really, you're going to trip over it. You don't use it. All right. Well, have a wonderful week. See you soon.